Hello, and welcome to Under 1000. My name's Thomas Flower, and each episode I'll read you a new piece of flash fiction. All of the stories are 1000 words or less. Today, I'll be reading God from the Machine. Please be aware that this episode deals with themes of death, so if that's likely to upset you or anyone you're listening with, then you might want to skip this one. It was a void, black, empty, stretching infinitely outwards in all directions. Jamal struggled, trying to breathe, trying to escape. His limbs moved freely, light and airy in the vast expanse. No air entered his lungs, and yet he did not feel as though he were choking. In fact, he did not feel much at all. His body, the only patch of colour in the black emptiness, felt weightless and unbound, almost as though it were detached from him. "Hello?" he called out frantically, scanning the many horizons for signs of life. "Is anyone out there?"
"Hello, Jamal,"
a soothing voice echoed through the void.
"Welcome to Vivico."
"Hello? Where are you? I can't see you!" Jamal shouted in reply, now twisting his body around in frenzied circles.
"You can't see me, Jamal. I have no form, but I am here to help you. Please do not worry or be afraid."
This attempt at reassurance only increased the panic and vulnerability Jamal felt. The sudden knowledge that he was trapped in an endless void with an incorporeal being was hardly reassuring. "Who are you?" he called out desperately. "What am I doing here?"
"I am your personal assistant. I am here to help you with your transition to your new life. If you are here, it must be because a family member or someone else who was close to you elected to upload you after your passing."
Jamal stopped thrashing suddenly. "After my... what? My... passing? Does that mean..."
"Yes, Jamal. I'm sorry. If you are here, that means that your consciousness has been uploaded after the demise of your physical form."
Jamal stopped. He was shocked and unable to comprehend what he was hearing. Did this voice really just tell him what he thought it did? How could that be possible? "So you're saying I'm dead?"
"That's correct, Jamal, in a sense. Your body is gone, but you are able to live on here in Vivico."
What does that mean? What is this? How can I be here if I'm dead?
Vivico is your own personalizable digital afterlife. Here, you can spend the rest of your days partaking in whatever activities interest you and living out new simulations of life. You are here because someone has uploaded your consciousness after your passing. You have no corporeal form in this space either, as it is an entirely digital creation. But Vivico has granted you this complimentary welcome body based on your previous human form. If you would like, we can change or erase this body to make you more comfortable."
Jamal still couldn't quite comprehend. He understood the idea in theory, but it surely couldn't be true, could it? How could he be existing in a machine as a digital consciousness? What did that even mean? Hold up, let's not go deleting anything yet. I need to get this straight first. Are you really saying that someone out there took my brain and shoved it inside a machine before they buried me? That can't be right, is it?
No, Jamal. Not literally. Your brain is still in your body, but the thoughts, feelings, memories, and other aspects of your consciousness were downloaded from that brain, formed into a digital extrapolation of you, and then uploaded here. Does that make sense?
Jamal paused, unsure how to respond. None of this made sense. It wasn't that he couldn't understand the idea, but to believe that it was a reality and not some science fiction nonsense was beyond him right now. Choosing to ignore the question he had just been faced with, he instead retorted with one of his own. If this is real, then how come I never heard of it when I was alive? I'm pretty sure something like this would have been big news.
The program you are inhabiting is an alpha build of the final product. It therefore has not been released to the public yet. For the sake of transparency, I should inform you that you are currently inhabiting alpha build 0.3.15. However, please don't worry. Any new features will be available for you as and when they are developed.
Oh, great. So I'm a lab rat, basically. Is that what you're saying? Anyway, how would someone I know even gain access to something like this? If it's not available for the public, then I'm pretty sure the people I know couldn't afford it.
The Vivico Corporation has been offering free trials to the family and friends of the recently deceased in your area, Jamal. This is so that the company can work on developing features which are more in line with the interests of the general public.
Jamal fell silent again. He no longer knew what to say. Could someone he had once known really have ripped his thoughts out of his skull and stuck them in here? Suddenly it seemed so unfair. Why hadn't he been able to have a say in the decision? It seemed wrong to him that he could cheat death and live forever in a machine without even consenting to do so. Still, this was the situation he found himself in. Resigned, he tried to determine what would come next. Okay then, machine, so tell me, what can I do in here? You said that stuff about activities and lives, so tell me about it.
You can do almost anything you would like, Jamal. If you have a scenario or activity in mind, it is likely that Vivico can create that for you. Would you like to get started?
Jamal paused, unsure if he was ready to take the plunge. Would it really be so bad? Maybe not. If there was a heaven, he supposed, this bizarre digital storage space he now found himself trapped in was close enough. And so, resigned and elated, he set forth to begin his new life of unrestricted fantasy. Thank you for listening to Under 1000. I'm your host, Thomas Flower. To follow the show online, look for Under 1000 Pod on Twitter or Facebook, or check out the website at under1000pod.com. If you'd like to support the show on Patreon, go to patreon.com/under1000pod, where you can sign up to read each month's stories in advance, as well as to have a thank you be read during these credits. The theme music is an instrumental version of In Between Days by Nick Tate and the Sharks. To hear the full song, and more from the same EP, go to Nick Tate, NICTATE, and thesharks.bandcamp.com, or search for them on your favourite streaming platform. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and that you'll join me again next time for some more super short fiction.